All right. So as she says, I'm grateful for somebody that come here and help me. She just breaks down and begins to weep. Um,
I would go over and hug her.
they both look emaciated.
I'll break out a ration
Because
and an eye patch and give it
they've
to
been
her.
down here for at least 6 weeks.
I'll just hand ward
She
one of
can
my
summon
rations and
food
she
and
can eat it,
water.
so he can give it to her.
I'll like give it to her, break it in half, and then point half of it towards Jen to get her to do it because she knows him better. And
Hmm.
then ask her if she knows any way that we can prove that awareness is involved.
Just my testimony, and if Jin can be recovered, his testimony.
Well, our plan was to bring him out to safety to his mother, who loves him very much and is looking for him. But I have a feeling that if we're not careful and we don't do this sneakily, we will probably be killed by Warness's evil goons before we even get back to the
I mean,
council.
there's evidence of that circle in Wernos's tower.
Okay.
So I mean, if we can maybe get uh, Drennan, Master Drennan, and the other members of the council to go into his tower and do launch an investigation, maybe that will help. But I think Wernos has Drennan's ear. They've been very close. After um, Master Magnus, left 5 years ago.
Yeah, with the Black Dragon.
No, Master Magnus was uh, kind.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Just checking.
he was the evoker. He was the evocation master, and he left to go with the Grand Wizard um, Phalanx to Sindara to negotiate the terms of becoming a independent city state. It was Master Galen, Master Magnus, and Master Phalanx all went to Sindara. That was 5 years ago when I first arrived. So,
I just
and
want to
then
say, Al.
I'm so sorry that we did that, but
That's
it's been
totally
it's
understandable.
it's been a desperate fight for 6 weeks. We've been moving from one location to another just to keep the creatures, not just these driders, but there's these massive insect-like creatures that have giant bitey mouths that they come around
They do a lot of poison. Ask
and
Greg.
and then there's the Nothic, which is what he's turning into. There are several further to the east. They have a strange little community, and they make raids into the academy at night. A lot of people wondered why stuff would be missing, like little magic items and magic potions and things of that would be missing from the academy, and the students would get blamed for it. But I see these Nothic do it. They have this. It looks like a tunnel or a climbing chute or a chimney or something that they're able to scrabble up into and get inside the academy that way. I've seen them bring back several artifacts and items
How
Do
big
you
is
know
back
this
where
down
chute?
the
into
tunnel
their
is?
lair.
Do you
What
know
was
where
that?
the Do you know where the tunnel is?
I do. It's all the way to the
How
eastern part of this
how big is it?
gigantic cavern. How big is it?
Yes.
To
Um, you might have some trouble. Uh, Bugbear that can speak, which is unusual. But I'm honored that you rescued us. Thank you so much. Um, you're a little broad of shoulder, but you might be able to squeeze your way in. But the rest of you should be relatively easy. But we're hundreds of feet below the surface here, so it's a long climb, and Jin's in no shape to climb that way, and neither am I.
That's true.
Do you want to live or die, woman?
Well, of course I want to live,
Well, then you'll do it.
but what about Jin?
Well, tie him to me.
That's that's why you guys came.
We'll get him out.
I can always carry him if need be.
I don't think you could carry him through the tunnel.
It's the tying part.
Tie him onto my chest, and just as I climb,
I
carry
don't
him up.
I don't think that with
I don't
his
think you
now
could.
with his protruding bone things on his back attached to somebody else, I don't think the combination would fit. You'd have to basically dangle him from a rope at the very bottom and climb with him just dangling beneath you.
Sounds
See?
dangerous.
Sounds like a plan to me.
But it's still from where we're at now. It's probably 2 miles to the other side of this cave where the Nothic have set up their little nest. It's weird. I didn't think that they had a community like this.
So
All
then
the
it'd be
book
quicker to go back the way we came.
all the books say that they are individual creatures and they hoard things for themselves, but they've built a weird commune, uh, almost like a cult.
I'll be honest with you. I think that is Warnes's cult that he got from the people that went too far away from Jin into Nothics, and I believe that he's using them
To do what?
to gather magical materials that he needs from. That's why they're going up and stealing. I bet you could find out what they were stealing and connect it. It'd be stuff that he needs.
Hmm.
I I would not have believed 6 weeks ago that one of our masters would be so cruel to change his students into what Jin is turning into now. But now I wouldn't put anything past him, especially since the dungeon master has rolled his alignment as chaotic evil.
Right?
Well, Chick, I
Yeah.
don't know how well you knew him, but from the first day I met him, I knew he was a nasty bastard.
And I don't
But
want
he
to say anything, but this book I'm reading is 5 years old, and you wouldn't believe what happened to Phalanx.
but if you want to make the journey, I can get us over there, but it'll be dangerous.
My main concern is how to transport Jin without making things worse and making it.
He's he's running out of time.
He doesn't have much time, but the journey may.
He's actually stroking his black hair, his short black hair, and like wiping the sweat off of him.
Right.
And again, you see tears start to run down her face,
All we do is make a
and
stretcher between us, and
he begins speaking in abyssal again. Slade, you hear broken words such as the Black Book. You hear Black Fang. You hear uh, Circle. You hear the name Phalanx again comes out of his mouth. You hear a name that you don't recognize called Valgaroth. There's lots of things that are coming out of his mouth that don't make sense to you, but it's a lot of information. So, what would y'all like to do?
Please tell me what's going to at least try and get remove curse.
I would tell her that I have no way of removing curse at this time. I wish there was. That if there's anything that I could do to make that happen, I would definitely do it. Pray, fasting.
Okay,
Hope.
so you're going to do what again, Ward? I'm sorry.
I was just. I was wanting to tell her that I believe I know what could heal him, but unfortunately, I don't have the ability. That basically it's the druid version of my thoughts and prayers are with you. There's nothing else I can do.
Well, at least rest here for the night. Um, I've got a ward on the door that will let us know if anything gets close within 20 feet of the door. So if you want to rest here tonight, then we can be better prepared to move in the morning. We'll come up with some way to bring Jen with us, but
I've I've got an idea that I would have to. ask if it would work. With a full night's rest, I would have the ability to learn a spell overnight, conjure animals, which means I can summon a face spirit that takes a space for unoccupied space, and I can get it to follow directions. It could be one beast with a challenge of 2 or lower, two beasts with a challenge of 1 or lower. I could use that to carry Jin
Okay, you could do that.
as an option. It's one of the options, anyways.
All right. The other option, as I told you a little bit while we are taking a break, if you'd like to, um, you can try to pray. The other option is you can try to pray for 12 hours, and you might be able to get the remove curse from Maliki.
Okay,
Um, but by doing that for 12 hours, that means you don't get your long rest.
true. But I'd get a short rest, would I?
Yeah, you could get a short rest with that.
So I could get one spell back on a short rest.
So is that what you choose to do?
Yes.
We're all
right.
gonna
Well,
die.
we're going to come to him. We're going to come to him back to him in a minute. What about the rest of y'all? What would y'all like to do?
With my 8
Can't
hit
really think of
points.
much else I can do.
Y'all
So,
just going to rest, food, eat, rest, stuff like that.
yeah.
Load my guns.
Load your guns. Yeah. All right. So this is what I need you to do, Ward. You have a
Okay.
30% chance, which is
Okay.
extremely high, actually. Normally, to have some kind of divine intervention for clerics, that's whatever you have to roll underneath your cleric level.
Right.
But I'm going to give you a 30% chance of learning the remove curse spell, which is
Okay.
not normally available to druids. So roll your 100-sided or your percentage dice, and everybody, let's wish for the best.
Okay.
Can we help in any manner?
Yes, you can send me thoughts and prayers.
Okay, hold on a second before you roll. Before you
crap.
roll,
Got the wrong number, anyways. Didn't
all right. We can also do a skill challenge to help him. So each of you can decide one of your skills, and then tell me how you'd use it to assist Ward in contacting Maliki. So let's start with Slade. How would you like to help him? And each time, each success that y'all do will increase his percentage by 5%. So if all of y'all succeed, you'll have a 45% chance.
Hey, that's almost half. It's pretty good.
I want to learn basic magic then.
If you're some sort of holy man, you could probably do that. But
I'm
you're
pretty
not.
holy right now.
Having holes in you is not the same thing. Slade, what are
I'm
you gonna
going
do?
to use my history,
Okay.
as I am trained in history, and I am going to remind Ward of times in past when men of great integrity called for help and received it, and miracles did happen.
Okay, so it's a DC 15.
All right. Dang. Let's see. I've got a 6, and I got a roll a 10, so that's a 16.
So you succeed. That's one success. All right. Drekken, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to use my survival skill and remind Ward that survival is of the utmost importance, always, and of the ways of survival.
All right, give me a DC 15 survival check.
Oh, that's not bad. +6, I got a 9, so 15 exactly.
That's two successes. All right, Bugbear, I see your face.
Great power comes great responsibility. Your power, right?
I guess I'm gonna do intimidation.
Okay.
I'm gonna intimidate the goddess. If you don't do this, we're coming for you.
All right, DC 15.
That's a 10 plus 7, so 17. No, 16. 16.
All right, so Ward feels that Maliki heard you. She's not intimidated, but she heard you. You're heard your pleas.
I'd be
All
like,
right, Ward.
come on, he's just trying to help.
You grab your whatever it is that you use to reach out to Maliki, whatever that
Right,
is.
right now, it is a staff that I call Willow.
All right, so you grab Willow, you place it across your lap as you sit Indian style,
Yep.
and you begin to have a conversation with Maliki. Let's see how it goes. Let's roll those percentage dice. 45 is the
All
is the
right.
DC.
I rolled a 1.
0-1.
0-1.
So we didn't even need to help you.
All right,
I love it.
No,
that's
I mean,
that's
I
fantastic.
can't use these anymore. They've got to be like bronze.
Congratulations, sir.
Oh,
You now
God.
have the remove curse spell. But you did not get a long rest, so you will take a level of exhaustion.
Yep.
Well, while you're right
But
there with her, just tell her to take it away and give you, all your stuff back.
I don't want to be greedy.
I would be. Why not?
Because that's excessive already. And
Now,
you
to
intimidated.
cast remove curse, you will have to sleep, but you
Okay.
do have that spell.
Yeah, because whenever I did the short rest to gain a spell back, it would be at half my level, which would be 2.5, and it's rounded down, so I only got a second level back. I couldn't get the third level to do it. Got it.
So
Exhausted.
you guys wake up after his long vigil, and he's exhausted. His pale blue gray skin underneath his eyes, it's now purple bruised, like like my eyes in real life.
I was gonna say
And
like mine too. Yeah.
he looks exhausted, but he has a grin on his face. What do you tell him, Ward?
Um, our prayers were answered. I should be able to heal him. Unfortunately, I'm going to need to rest before I'm able to complete the spell.
Nazara turns to you. Is it Navarro? I think it's Nazara, isn't it? Did I say Nazara?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
did.
with a Z.
Nazara.
Nazara with a
Nazara.
Z.
Because I was deciding
Nazara.
between Navarro or Nazara, and so
Nazara Tudon or something like
yeah,
that.
Nazara Tudon. And she says, "Well, we're gonna have to move because they're getting close. I can feel their magic user trying to find us. So we've got to move again. And
Is
if we're
there a
gonna
right
go that,
way out
if,
here?
uh, no, unfortunately not.
Okay.
But there's just a quick little jaunt to another group of buildings. One that we've rested in before. That's a fairly large building that's got fresh water. And it's about a, a half a mile down an avenue here. Uh, the Driders don't venture that far east. So
Well, maybe not before, but they might now.
I said they don't usually.
whenever you guys are ready, um, I'll try to get Jen up and moving, and we'll move on to that other place. Then maybe you can rest and be able to fix him.
Then we take out the
But
dryers and clear out the castle.
We'll have to go back for that. I need to go check those crystals where we let that vampire queen go, anyways.
Okay. So are you guys getting ready to move?
Yes.
yeah, ready to move.
All right.
If need be, I'll offer to carry Jen if it's needed.
She goes, well, just he can walk as long as he has his arm around somebody. So
I may have to
So
stoop a little bit, but yeah.
she waves her hand across the door, and the ward is removed. And then she slowly opens it and peers outside. And then she begins to move. She's going to make a stealth check. I would like all of y'all to do the same.
I would like to wait before you do that.
Okay.
Because there's a reason why I didn't use any of my first level spells and got a second level spell done, and that's because I want to cast Pass Without a Trace.
All right. So everybody add 10 to your roll, but you got to stay within 30 feet of ward. Okay. So stealth checks. And thank goodness that you cast that because she rolled a 2.
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1, Dave.
Mm-hmm. I got plus
So will
7,
everybody.
so that's 8.
So 18 though.
So she has a 5 plus 10. So, oh, one's an automatic failure.
Oh, never mind then.
So she has a 15. But if everybody averages out, it's a group sales roll. So what'd you get, Ward?
22.
Slade?
21.
No, wait, which one?
Draken?
22.
26. I forgot to add my survival. I just did the pass it on.
Your survival. It's supposed to
Oh,
be stealth.
wait, the stealth. I mean, my stealth is plus 5. So
It's like
it's a 27.
All right. So actually, that might be wrong. I was looking at the wrong wizard. 1 second. It might be better than that because I think she has a criminal background. Yeah. So hers is 7. So she has a 17. But all y'all together actually have even with his automatic failure, have a passing roll. So as you guys make your way around towards this east, she begins to lead you eastward, and you pass a lot of buildings, and she's moving fast. She's not really giving y'all time to really check things out unless you're going to do perception checks to hear if you're getting followed. So would anybody like to do that?
Do we need to be trained to do that?
Yeah.
'Cause-
I have
Yeah, I would
perception.
say
yeah,
so.
I'm
I am
not.
trained in perception. Let me go ahead and see if I can see anything.
Or hear anything.
Hey, Jeremy, when I rolled that, I rolled a 12. And then I forgot I was at disadvantage. My second roll is the 13. So I just want to let you know that I didn't cheat, but I almost did.
you cheated anyway. Come on now.
So what'd you get?
Perception is an 18.
Do you hear that familiar sound of the Driders uh, very close behind you, like they're going to the place that you guys came from? But she seems to pick up her pace. I want everybody to roll stealth at disadvantage because you guys are now running. Don't forget to add the 10 to it.
Well, that's still pretty good.
12 plus 7, 19.
She rolled a 31.
I rolled a 3 and a 20, so that is 20.
10, 20. It's 20 for you, right?
Yep.
What about you, Ward?
22. That was with the 7.
Slade?
That's going to be 19 for me.
Draken?
29.
You guys are like ghosts in the night as you guys
All right.
run until finally she crosses into another courtyard that has another statue, this time of a individual wearing robes and has a bulbous head and tentacles coming out.
Unfair.
And
It did.
there's like a lamprey style mouth, and the water is spilling out of that mouth. And she goes behind that, and there's a massive building behind you, and there's a stone door on it. And she tells you to go in that building, and she starts to pull out water skins and fills the water coming out of the Illithid's mouth.
Is that good water?
That's good water, she says.
I'll fill up my water skin then.
Y'all gonna go to the building?
I mean, yeah, we followed the Gnostic. Why wouldn't we follow her?
All right. So as y'all go to the building,
I want to do an insight check on her.
all right, go ahead.
I have Jin with his arm around me,
I
so
fumbled.
She doesn't appear to have any kind of deceit. She's desperate to be out of here and desperate to be safe. It appears.
I hear Maleki say, "That's what you got," and I lean over and tell Greg that. He rolled the one, so that's what you get.
Yeah, I haven't rolled above a 3 on a roll yet for the last 5 rolls.
That's what you get for not trusting people and trying to intimidate a guide, she says. And be careful with that. Be careful with that dagger, she also says. Or that could have been from Ward.
All right. So who's the first to the door?
I guess I would be honest with you.
All right. The door's closed. What would you like to do?
I would ask her if there's any traps.
None that I've set, she says, as she's filling up water skins.
I would still try to check, I guess, at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Natural 20 and then a 15 added to, was that what? Perception?
Investigation.
Oh, investigation. All right, so that's a 17.
It doesn't appear to be trapped. It doesn't appear to be locked. It's just a door.
Okay, I'm going to open it up, look in.
All right, as you open up and look in, it's completely dark, but you can see in it because of your.
I can see 120 feet if there's
Yeah,
any light out.
there's a low light coming from behind you.
Okay.
It appears to be looks like a training room of some sort. There's open space and it looks like there was an old carpet or mat or something. There's old weapon racks that have degraded and fallen. There's old weapons all over the ground. There's a couple of doors that lead off on both the east and the west side. And that's really about it. Looks like there's a place that would have held like bandages and things of that nature, but that's been ransacked and it's fallen in and stuff.
I'm next with Jen around me.
Okay.
Just shuffle him, help him get down.
She's grabbing all of your water skins and filling them up. Make sure y'all have water as y'all go in.
I'm waiting on her to get in.
All right. She comes in and she closes the door, and you see her make that same symbol on the door.
I knock on the door. Can I come in?
She waited till you came in before she did that. All right. So what do you want to do? You guys are now in a different safe location. Um, Again, it's
I'm
another
just
stone building with a vaulted roof. And like I said, there's all those that
I'm
I
just gonna
described.
I'm just gonna start looking around, see what I
All right.
see.
You
You
gonna
know.
lay Jen down or anything?
Hmm?
You gonna lay Jen down, or you gonna carry him with you as
Yeah,
you go?
I laid him down once I walked in. I set him down, and then I'm just gonna start walking around, looking around, seeing what's here.
Lay down. He starts convulsing uncontrollably, and you see like some foam come out of his mouth. It's like a green, thick foam starts to come out of his mouth.
I want to pull my dagger out and stab him in the heart and put him out of his misery. That's two,
Roll a strike.
right?
I asked Draken how he's going to see since he can't see in the dark
He's
I have the
bugbear.
dagger with continual flame on it.
from 2 days ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from
continual flame lasts indefinitely until it's dispelled.
So I'm going to go check on Jen since he's
He's
foaming. Nobody else is.
he's got a
I've
strap
got
to him.
nothing.
He's got it strapped on the top of his forehead as he's
Right.
boxing around. It looks like a barbarian unicorn. It's in the warg's mouth.
I say Nazara. He's foaming at the mouth.
She brushes over to his side and begins to try to wipe it away, and he starts snapping at her hand as his teeth have now gotten longer, and that other eye has moved more sideways on the side of his face, and that other eye has come up to more prominent features. His hair is beginning to fall out.
Man, you can tell she doesn't love him for his looks.
He starts to scream.
What language do Nothic speak? What was it?
Abyssal.
Abyssal.
I asked Slade if he could like say something to try to soothe him and tell him not much longer.
I do this. I walk up there and take my dagger out, the pommel of it. I smack him in the head, knock him out.
Or
You hit him right. You hit him right in the eye.
She cast
Are you
fireball.
really
Yes,
gonna
I'm
do
really gonna do that because not it, we're all gonna die.
that? All right, so give me an attack roll.
Are you going to tell us what you're doing, or
I rolled a 2, so 8.
As you go to strike down, you see Azara put up a invisible shield,
Uh-huh.
and as you go to strike it, your dagger bounces off of it. She goes, "What are you doing?"
Knocking him out. He's gonna kill us.
She goes, "Ah," and you see she rips a part of her sleeve off and she rolls it up and she puts it in his mouth, and it
There's that
clamps
too.
down. It clamps down, and he's moaning, but he's not screaming anymore. And she gives you a
what the
monster.
heck were you doing?
I'm a bugbear. I do simple things.
All right, what are y'all gonna do now? You said you were doing something. Reckon what were you gonna do?
I was just gonna look around and see if there was anything here.
Sure, give
If
me an
there's anything
investigation.
All right. It's not bad. 16.
Just a lot of what I described to you already. There's a lot of old weapons. They all look elven made. You see a couple of things that you've never seen before. It looks like one that's got a pole and a crescent moon with spikes on the inside. Um, you see various pieces of rotten armor on the ground. It looks like it's mostly made out of some type of leather. But other than that, there's not a whole lot. You don't see any kind of literature or writing. You don't see any kind of super duper special weapons or anything. They all look to be common.
Detect magic.
So Greg just
How
stands
do
up
you
and
do
says,
that?
"Detect magic," and everyone just looks at him.
Okay, are there two of those pole weapons?
Of the with the crescent on it,
Yes,
just one.
just one. Is there
One.
another pole arm type weapon?
Sure. There's a like a bardache.
Okay. I'm going to take both of those. I'm going to break the actual weapon heads off, so I have two poles.
Okay.
I'm going to take out my rope, and I'm
All
going
right.
to start gathering the leather pieces for the armor,
Hmm?
and I'm going to start making a litter
Okay.
using the rope and the better pieces of leather until I can make something that we can carry this guy in.
Give me
I'll
a
help.
tinkering check.
I'll help. Oh, I don't know if I can help you.
You can't help me.
No,
Tinkering check.
I'm trained in tinkering. You're probably not.
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
what do I do with that? Would that be a intelligence with?
With that one, yeah, you're not doing anything like fine work. Use intelligence with this one. If it was fine work, I would say dexterity, but right now intelligence.
Okay. So that's going to be an 18.
Sure enough, it takes you a couple hours to do it. While they're trying to comfort Jen and Ward is beginning to rest. You make a pretty good litter out of the scraps of armor, leather armor, and the rope and the poles that you have. Um,
Maybe if we can tell Jen to just hold on for another few hours until Ward can heal him. I'm saying this to Slade, by the way. Just
the good thing about Ward is all he's got to do is meditate for 4
okay.
because
Well,
he's an elf.
yeah.
I do say there's a couple of half-used mats that the DM described, but I don't say that because that'd be wrong. That you could put in the to help comfort Jen a little bit more.
Sure, you don't that you can absolutely do that. You're a player and you're a character and you saw that stuff, and I described it for a reason. So you make Jen as comfortable as possible, and Ward begins to meditate. Um, Anything else you'd like to do in this 4 hour period? He's made the litter. It took him about 2 hours to do that.
So we're about 2 hours into the meditation.
Yeah.
Is there any stairs or anything?
Inside this building?
Yes.
No, there are not. But there are 2 doors, one on each side.
I'm going to the other door.
Okay. Let me describe it a little bit better. There's the door you came in,
Yes.
and then to the east and the west, in the middle of this building, are 2 other doors, and that's it.
West.
All right.
I'll
You're
go to
gonna
the
go.
east.
Okay. You just gonna open the door?
No, I said listen to it.
All right. Give me a perception check.
My
I'm just going to start pythoning the door I'm at.
would be a 19.
All right. You don't hear anything.
Open it.
All right. You open it. This appears to be some kind of storage closet or something. You see a lot of, and I do this quite often. You guys know this. You see what appears to be a lot of powdered residue inside beakers with corks in them.
Mm-hmm.
It looks to be probably 3 or 4 various ones.
Are any of
Uh,
them
they're all red.
sweet?
They all have like a red dust in
Okay.
the bottom.
Mix them with alcohol and check the cloaks and see if any of them are okay.
So there's 3 bottles of
Red powder.
powdered healing potion.
Depends on
So,
what you mix it with.
yeah. So basically, if you find alcohol of some sort, you mix them depending on the strength of the alcohol. Like, there's enough powder here to make either a regular healing potion with water or a greater healing potion with a good alcohol. Just whiskey crap won't work. That'll just be a regular healing potion. It's got to be like a fine elven wine or a fine dwarven stout, something like that. That would make it a greater healing potion.
And is
Just
there anything
for
else in this room?
is there what?
Anything else in the room?
You see various alchemy tools, beakers, glass beakers, metal, like fine, like an alchemy kit's in there. There's a what appears to be some kind of kit that's got small hammers and small chisels, and it looks like a magnifying glass.
A
Give me an
gem
intelligence
cutting.
check.
Gem cutting
Yeah,
kit.
that's yes, you know that, but would Greg know that?
He does not. He rolled a 3. You think, heck, what is that?
Looks like another kit, but it's in a fine leather.
I'm gonna
Uh,
walk over to where Greg is and just
You're
just
at the
ask
door,
him.
Logan.
You're over
You're at
there,
the
pat
other.
on the door. I take
you're
the
gonna put
couple alchemy kits while I'm at it. Why not? You know.
you take the alchemy kit. You
Yep.
tell anybody that you found it.
Well, I will when I go out.
Okay, that appears to be it. The rest of the stuff looks like it's either been broken or degraded.
Does anybody know what this thing is? I found an alchemy kit and this thing with tools. And
Yeah,
stuff.
actually, I would know exactly what that is.
Do you need
Yeah,
it?
you know, he holds up a gem cutting kit and an alchemy kit.
You need one of these because I can't use it.
I'm actually trained in it. Yes.
Well, here you go. There you go.
So there you go. You have a gem cutting kit and a jeweler's kit, I think is what it's called.
Yep.
And
I'm not trained in jeweler's kit. I'm trained in alchemy.
but it's got
I
some
don't know
tools you might be able to use.
And then I
Got
got
some
3
tools.
powders here to make healing potions, I think.
But now, was there a laboratory in there? Is that what was said?
It was a storage place for laboratory goods. The other
Okay.
place that looked like a laboratory was that where I told you where they had like healing potions and bandages and stuff that had degraded. That's probably where they do a lot of the mixing was at that area.
Okay. Can I go check that out?
Sure, give me an investigation check. And Drek, can you python the other door? That's what you said.
Yeah, I was gonna pot on it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm looking specifically for lead. That's what I want.
Okay.
Well, if you got any gold, we can make gold into lead.
All right, I rolled a 19.
You're actually a lot of the tools and the bowls that they were using to put some of this stuff in is lead. You probably got about 2 pounds worth of lead.
I can work with that.
All right. So the front door just has a ward on it. The eastern door has pythons underneath it, and the other door was the supply closet. So
Just out of curiosity, what is the gold piece value of lead?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. Let's go ahead and say it's about seven gold worth of lead. 2 pounds is about 7 gold worth of lead.
All right, that'll work.
I walked up to the door and I said, "Did you check behind it before you pythoned it?"
You want to check behind it? I will bend over and start removing the pythons, and then just open it, staying behind it,
Never mind.
and let him.
You just open it? Okay.
I just open it to him.
Open what? I want everybody in the whole room to relax because it was just a door.
Well, thanks for
Yeah.
scaring me to death before you tell me to relax, Jeremy.
I'm gonna open it, and then if it's safe, I'm gonna peek around the door.
As you open it, and the light from your unicorn dagger head, you are able to see that it looked like it was some kind of washroom. There's it looks like a fine porcelain basin, and there's another like a figurehead of an illithid, though none of you know what it is, but that's what it is.
It looks like that statue outside, though, right?
Yeah, but out of the mouth is where it looks like water would flow out of. There is shelves on each side, and there looks like there used to be some fine silks and linens on each side. There also looks to be some kind of wooden box at the bottom shelf, and that's about what's in that room.
I hollered from the other room. You should check the privy. People like to hide stuff in those.
No, that's in my adventure, sir.
Oh, okay. Sorry, my bad.
So nothing of note. Yeah, I'll just go back to the group.
You
I
don't
don't
want
if we don't see anything here, just go back.
to
I'm gonna
You don't
check the
want
clothes. Are there any nice looking clothes?
Uh, when you start to touch them, they start to kind of degrade and fall apart. I mean, at one point in time, this clothing was really nice, and there appears to be a nice wooden and stone box on the bottom shelf.
Open it.
Like I said before, you're gonna open it.
Yes. Put my face right
And
in it.
when you open it, you hear a sucking sound, and inside you see what appears to be what was a healer's kit. But as soon as it was exposed to the oxygen around it, you start to see it degrade a little bit right in front of your eyes. I mean, you can get one use out of it. That's what
Oh,
I'm
okay.
telling you.
Okay, I was like, phew.
Walk
Instead
by
of the full, instead
him.
of the full 5 uses, you get one use out of it.
I walk by and hand it to him. There you go. You can use that.
Who'd you hand it to?
Drink.
Ward?
Drinking.
Dragon.
Oh, okay.
Where you're pointing on my screen, it's off to the other side. You're nowhere close. You're pointing the opposite direction of Dragon.
Well, my string, I'm up here, and there's Johnny, John, you, and then Logan.
For me, it's Jonathan, Johnny, Exodon, Logan.
Oh, you don't have yourself on the screen?
No, it's very small up at the top.
Oh.
I don't need to look at myself while I'm talking. Are you insane?
All right. So, how long would it take me to make up a batch of bullets using this area?
Well, the key for you is really going to be finding hot enough fire to actually melt the material, and it would take you, depending on your role, it would take you anywhere from 2 to 12 hours to do it, depending on your role.
Well, now a campfire would melt lead, but now that's
Is that what you do? The
Yeah.
campfire?
I'll make a campfire.
But I'm just kind of trying to gauge whether or not I want to try down here because I'm getting low.
Well, we can open the door and just make it outside, you know.
to.
No,
I've already made a
I'm
campfire.
not going to do it right now. I'm just going to hold off. But I
Warm myself up.
All right. Do you guys make a camp? You made a campfire. Do you guys heat some food to have some hot food
Now we're all going to suffer and suffocate and die.
because of the smoke inside the building?
Yep.
Um,
Smoke alarm goes off and warns
After,
everybody
but
else.
after cooking, just
vaulted roof. You notice with the vaulted roof that some of the smoke is escaping from the roof, so it
So
doesn't appear that
somebody's
you're going
gonna-
to die from smoke inhalation.
But
Yay!
somebody's going to see that.
yeah, so we're signaling that we're here.
That's probably pretty accurate. All right, so you guys cook a hot meal, and she
and then immediately put out the fire.
she
After
she eats it greedily. She hasn't had a hot meal in
A while.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say a word.
she scarfs it down. It's been a long time. And then as all that goes on, Ward, your 4 hours is up. You feel refreshed. You're no longer exhausted. You have all your spell slots back. And it looks like you're right at the nick of time because Jen doesn't have long.
All right. First thing I do is thank Maliki.
Okay.
And then I would kneel down and I really don't know what he would say as Ward, but I feel like it'd be kind of like whenever he found some stuff in his druid craft, like some roses that were dying, and he would kind of like tend to it and kind of move the soil around and talk. I feel like
Yeah.
it would be
You would address it like a gardener, almost
Yeah,
like a caretaker. Sure, I completely understand that,
just
especially
kind
where
of
your opinion comes from.
right. And then I feel like the druid craft thing would kind of kick in, the cantrip beforehand, where it'd be
All right,
like the smell of the hidden veil.
cool. So I'll describe what happens then, if that's what you
Okay,
want.
that's what I
Um,
want.
as you see Ward kneel down beside Jen, he gently asks Nazara to lay his head down and step away, and she does, but she stays on her knees about 5 feet away. And as Ward begins to gently run his hands over Jen's body, everyone notices that flowers and grass and butterflies and all kinds of natural things that you guys would have seen in the Vale completely cocoon Jen's body. And as it cocoons his body, he's covered in what looks like he looks like a mound of grass, and on top of that grass is rows and rows of different multicolored flowers, and the smell of nature and life and springtime permeates the room, and all of you feel a warm breeze as this magic is done, and you feel relaxed, and for a moment, just a moment, there's peace, and you guys can see that there is a rhythmic uh, raising of the mound like Jen is breathing, so you know he's not suffocating. And Ward, you know that it's going to take some more time for him to be cocooned in your healing magics to remove this curse. You're not sure exactly, but it's going to take some time for this to work.
Right.
And at the same time, you get a ping. Maliki, almost as a blessing, tells you that you're going to have to stand ready. Forces are coming. And as soon as you feel that in your mind, you hear a slam against the door. Nazara stands up and says, "They're here.
I thought it's supposed
We're
to
going
tell you within 20
we're going to take a
feet.
quick break."
The beacons are lit.